Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. Hurricane Michael roared ashore just east of Panama City Beach early this afternoon.
Let's get to the latest about this monster storm with our chief meteorologist, Bill Meck.
Well, the center of the storm has already crossed the Florida Panhandle, is now centered in southwest Georgia, right around Donaldsonville. You can see the storm has begun to leave the coastal area as well. The last of the rain bands going through there. Heavy rain will be falling across south central Georgia, western part of Alabama, eventually headed up into the Carolinas. The storm came in as one of the strongest storms ever to hit the U.S. and the strongest in the Florida Panhandle. Came in at Mexico Beach at about 1 o'clock this afternoon with winds at 155 miles per hour and a central pressure that was even lower than Hurricane Andrew. The storm was about as classic as it looks on a satellite. That's from noon just before landfall, and it came in just to the southeast there of Panama City. Working its way north, you'll see the eye beginning to fill in. The stats on the storm still Category 3, and it is working its way now rapidly to the northeast. Again, the storm historic in every dimension. Heavy rain now will be going on through Georgia and the Carolinas. The one saving grace for them, for the areas that were hit hard by Florence just a month ago, the storm's a quick mover. So yeah, it'll rain hard for a while, but then the storm will move on. For us, we are watching a line of showers and thunderstorms that'll be coming in on a strong cold front. And with that, we will transition from summer to mid-fall and do it in a hurry. We'll talk about that transition and more on Michael in a couple of minutes.
All right, Bill, see you then.
Hurricane Michael made landfall as the strongest hurricane to ever hit the Florida Panhandle, clocking it at 155 miles per hour.
Now, the landfall missed the most densely populated areas, but it's still causing major damage across the Panhandle and now on into Georgia. Lisa Dawn Parker captured this cell phone video of the storm in Panama City Beach, shearing off part of a building's roof. The hurricane, now a Category 2 or 3, is a triple threat, bringing dangerous storm surge up to 14 feet along the Gulf Coast, destructive winds, and torrential rainfall that's already causing serious flooding. While the hurricane pounded a large section of the Panhandle, portions of it did avoid the brunt of the storm.
LEX 18's Michael Burke continues our coverage with an update from the Santa Rosa vacation home of one Kentucky family.
This year's Florida vacation is something the Mather family of Owensboro was not about to pass up, despite the forecast.
This is just our annual trip for fall break. We come every year. Honestly, I did not think that the hurricane was going to be this bad.
Might be so bad that Florida Weather Services can offer no comparison to how powerful and devastating this storm could become.
Now that it's a Category 4, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Riding out Category 4 Hurricane Michael, 28 feet above sea level.
We're just going to stay here. We have plenty of food and water, and fingers crossed we don't lose power.
And so far, crossing fingers has worked. Ginny told us the power is still on, and from her balcony, she can't see much damage at all.
Seriously, nothing. I've seen a trash can, a plastic trash can lid fly off. That's it.
The eye of the storm skirting them by 75 to 90 miles. Turns out the only Michael she came all that close to today is her husband.
She's always wanted to sit through a hurricane, be in a hurricane, witness a hurricane, and the fact that it's named Michael, he's like, yeah, we got to stay.
Covering the news, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
Well, stay with LEX 18 after our newscast for continuing coverage of Hurricane Michael on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. We'll also have the latest updates tonight at 7 on LEX 18 News Evening Edition. In other news tonight, 2 car dealership employees have been sent to the hospital with severe burns after an explosion.
Happened around 2:30 at the Cartown Kia on Nicholasville Road in Jessamine County. Jacqueline Nye has been on the scene all afternoon, and she has the latest in this still developing story.
Employees here at the Cartown Kia tell me the explosion shook the building so much it sounded like a car had ran through it. Nicholasville Fire Marshal tells me 3 employees were trying to move a 55-gallon drum that had a small amount of methanol in it. That methanol came into contact with the flame and then it exploded. 2 employees were sent to the hospital with severe burns, one of them with 2nd to 3rd degree burns. A few employees of Cartown Kia say that they cut a man's clothes and boots off of him while waiting for the ambulance to arrive.
Because it was nearly empty, it was already in a gas form, and there was a flame, and that ignited those gases instantaneously.
We are told the methanol was used for windshield wiper fluid. Covering the news in Jessamine County from the LEX 18 Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
A former deputy coroner has filed a lawsuit accusing Fayette County Coroner Gary Ginn of sexual harassment. And we want to warn you, some of the details in the paperwork are graphic.
The lawsuit was filed by former deputy coroner Melissa Neal. LEX 18's Eleanor Buckley reports.
Melissa Neal began work at the Fayette County Coroner's Office in 2015 and worked there until her resignation in 2017. Now in a lawsuit against Fayette County Coroner Gary Ginn, Neal says she was forced to resign after repeatedly feeling uncomfortable due to sexual harassment. In the lawsuit, Neal claims crew jokes were often made to make Neal and other female employees uncomfortable. She also recalls a time when Ginn was helping her down a ladder and grabbed her backside. She goes on to say in the lawsuit that Ginn forced her to watch while he would openly and graphically massage his genitalia while speaking to Neal about her job duties. Neal claims these actions created an intimidating, hostile, offensive, and physically abusive work environment, forcing her to leave her job. Ginn denies these allegations and is asking to be compensated for his legal fees. Ginn, a Democrat, is running for re-election against Republican Larry Owens in November. A hearing about the lawsuit is set for October 12th. Covering the news in Lexington, Eleanor Buckley, LEX 18 News.
An Eastern Kentucky couple is suing 3 state police troopers after the couple's attorney says the troopers harassed and intimidated them.
According to that lawsuit, the troopers showed up at the couple's Jackson County home after the man posted on Facebook unhappy about a recent traffic stop. LEX 18's Kylan Mills explains.
According to a federal lawsuit, David Allen Gabbard was pulled over by a KSP trooper near his Jackson County home back in September of 2017. He let the trooper search his car and eventually was allowed to leave. But Gabbard sounded off about the incident in this Facebook post, saying he was pulled over for no reason, LMAO. Gabbard's attorney, James O'Toole, says the trooper who pulled him over, Scott Townsley, and 2 other troopers, Joshua Roden and Brandon Scaff, showed up at Gabbard's home the next day, and things escalated. Gabbard's fiancée, Diana Muncie, tried to record the confrontation, but O'Toole says one of the troopers took her phone.
It's at that point that he starts yelling and screaming about the Facebook post, that he smacks my client in the head, shoves him, kicks his dog.
O'Toole says Townsley then tried to get Gabbard to fight him, even taking off his badge and his belt, but Gabbard refused.
Thankfully, one of the troopers saw the cameras on the corner of the house, and they pulled Mr. Townsley back, picked up his stuff, and they left.
O'Toole says Muncie called 911 twice that day to report the incident. No one ever came.
Discovery will tell us. I really can't comment as to what actually happened or why it happened because I don't know yet. But it's definitely concerning.
The 911 transcript shows the dispatcher didn't send help because they were told a supervisor of state police was taking care of it. O'Toole tells us on behalf of his clients he filed a complaint with KSP to investigate. They would only say the incident was handled internally. O'Toole says that's just not good enough.
We want to hold these guys accountable. Taking somebody's security in their home, taking their freedom of speech, all these things are very wrong, and they need to be held accountable for those things.
Covering the news in Jackson County, Kylan Mills, LEX 18 News.
LEX 18 reached out to Kentucky State Police for comment about the lawsuit, but they haven't called us back. The attorney listed for the troopers didn't return our calls either. Almost 2 years ago, Trinity Gay, daughter of Olympian Tyson Gay and herself a rising track star, was shot and killed in the crossfire of a shootout.
Police say 4 men exchanged gunfire in the parking lot of the Cookout restaurant on South Broadway in Lexington, which was crowded with people that night. Now, all 4 of them are on trial. LEX 18's Carolina Buchek has the latest from the courthouse.
One big thing that prosecutors and the defense lawyers keep arguing about is who fired the shot that hit Trinity Gay. There may not be a clear answer to that, but one thing is for certain. Trinity Gay was innocently there when she got caught in the middle of that gunfire. Prosecutors say 4 people fired shots that night. They say Chazare Taylor opened fire first, and he's charged with murder as well as wanton endangerment. Also charged with wanton endangerment is his son DeMarcio and 2 others, Devonta Middlebrooks and Lamonte Williams. Police say while they were shooting at each other, one of the bullets hit Trinity Gay in the neck. Her friends who were there with her that night testified that they heard the shots, and the next thing they knew, Trinity was holding her chest and saying she'd been hit. They say they tried to keep her awake while driving her to the hospital, but she did not look okay.
She was shaking really hard. She was foaming at the mouth. She kept passing out and waking back up.
And police are saying the defendants even told them that they were there that night and fired some shots. But of course, the defense lawyers will try to prove that those shots did not hit Trinity Gay. Covering your news in Lexington from the LXAT Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
Police need help finding the most wanted person of the week. Bluegrass Crime Stoppers hopes you know where to find 32-year-old Brandon Scott Hammonds. He's wanted for burglary and assault. He's 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. If you see Hammonds, call the Crime Stoppers hotline at 859-253-2020 or text your information to CRIMES. In the text, write Lex PD, then your anonymous tip. One man is dead and another was flown to the hospital following a crash in Corbin involving 2 trucks.
We'll take you to that scene next on LXAT News at 6.